Drones hovering over rivers and lakes uncover mysteries hidden in the depths. Today on the TopFacts channel, we'll take a look at the most incredible footage of drones flying over water. Drone footage can access places where it is challenging for an operator to be present physically. Drones are especially helpful in assessing the real picture of what's happening as a whole. We're about to see for ourselves. Drones captured a terrifying scene of flooded Texas. We can assess the aftermath of red-level storms that wreaked havoc across the area. They destroyed numerous homes and drastically altered the landscape. Drivers who were caught in the flood were in a dreadful position, and an urgent rescue was needed for a school bus full of children due to the rapidly rising waters. The disaster was felt most intensely in Harris County, where drone footage showed large areas taken over by murky floodwaters. School closures and the shutdown of major highways underscored the severity of the situation. And while authorities struggled to deal with the paralysis in the region, drone footage revealed the real scale of the disaster. Drones are incredibly helpful in investigations. The first secret of this video is that it was filmed by a lost drone. When the drone was found and the footage reviewed, the last recording showed a reckless stunt by an unknown thrill-seeker. We see a lone figure climbing a bridge before jumping into the river from a height of 30 meters. Before this, his face appears in close-up, and thanks to the high-resolution footage, it was possible to attempt to identify this daredevil. The diver who found the drone reached out to social media and successfully identified the jumper. The thrill-seeker turned out to be Evan Ellington, a lover of extreme sensations. He said he performs such stunts because he loves pushing the limits of consciousness and finding nerve-tingling moments in everyday life. Now imagine how drones and identity recognition through video could also work for search services and the police. The disappearance of this woman became a well-known case in Florida. 31-year-old resident Miranda Rosa suddenly went missing in December of 2021. Her disappearance just a few days before Christmas sparked a massive search involving volunteers, law enforcement, and her family. Posters with her image were hung throughout the state, so her face became memorable to many. But a significant breakthrough was made only a year later, when tourists provided authorities with drone footage and photographs. In the footage, Miranda could be seen swimming in the Wekiwa River in a state park. Her family confirmed her identity in the video and photos, but this brought a mix of concern and relief, as it offered interim information. Authorities later found her car in the park, but no trace of the missing woman was discovered. Later, theories emerged that she may have wanted to disappear intentionally. However, her family leans toward a more sinister explanation. They believe Miranda may have become a victim of human trafficking. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. A typical day at Lennox Head, a popular beach in Australia, looks like this: high waves and a bunch of surfers in the water, among whom are many young kids. Everyone was enjoying surfing in the sun, but amidst this activity, the beach guards noticed a frightening sight. Two teenagers were nearly half a mile from shore and desperately struggling against a rip current. The boys, aged 16 and 17, were swept out to open ocean. As is known, currents are deadly forces that can drag even the strongest swimmers. The lifeguards acted quickly, but this was no ordinary rescue operation. Now they had a new tool at their disposal: a life-saving drone. The government of New South Wales recently invested over $300,000 in implementing drone technology in rescue services. These large copters are designed to improve beach safety. They can track sharks and conduct very effective rescue operations. Although the lifeguards were still in the process of learning to use the new devices, when the emergency call came in, they immediately launched the compact drone Westpac Ripper Lifesaver. The drone quickly and accurately dropped a rescue capsule, which upon impact with the water turned into a floating cushion that the boys could hold on to. For the teenagers, exhausted from battling the ocean, this could have ended tragically. But the story ended happily, and the entire rescue operation took only 70 seconds. In the serene natural park of the Serra da Estrela mountain range in Portugal lies the Conchos Reservoir, known as the Whole Lake. From above, it truly offers an amazing sight. In the center of the lake, there is a perfectly round whirlpool about 50 meters in diameter, eagerly swallowing water. But at times, the hole is covered by a layer of water, and the lake's surface once again looks calm. The explanation for this breathtaking phenomenon is mundane. it's human-made. Footage of the massive water hole captured by a drone took the internet by storm, sparking curiosity about the intricate engineering behind this mesmerizing view. More and more people eager to see the sight with their own eyes are heading to the mountainous part of Portugal, where amidst glacial lakes lies a watery gate to the center of the Earth. This incredible structure is part of a hydroelectric dam and is considered one of Portugal's best-kept secrets. Drone footage provides insight into the powerful system. Water cascades down a tunnel over 1.5 kilometers long, connecting with a neighboring lake. Finally, the flow reaches the Lagoa Comprida Dam, located in a remote corner of the natural park of Serra da Estrela. The station was built back in 1955 and remains operational, supplying electricity to the mountainous area. This 50-meter diameter hole is merely a technical spillway shaft. And remember, we showed you a similar feature at Berryessa Lake in California. If the water in the Conchos Reservoir reaches its maximum level, the excess is swallowed by the whirlpool. It's called Covao do Conchos. Over the past 6 decades, moss and foliage have begun growing around the edges of the whirlpool. This means nature has embraced this engineering marvel and will gradually try to consume it. Even the last century created its own pirate secrets. The skeleton of a sunken airplane has become a noteworthy underwater spectacle, and once it played a key role in the world of drug trafficking. The airplane served for smuggling drugs. This trade, controlled by the notorious drug lord Pablo Escobar, was at its height in the 1970s and 80s. The small coral island of Norman's Cay in the Bahamas was at that time the heart of an extensive drug smuggling network. It served as a critical refueling point for planes transporting illegal cargo from South America to the United States. A runway was built by Escobar's cartel to ensure the continuous supply of cocaine planes loaded with drugs landed here, refueled, and continued their journey. In 1980, this old World War II aircraft ended its career with a tragic crash near the runway. Inside were tons of cocaine, and during the emergency landing, it sank on a sandy shoal at the southern tip of the island. There were no casualties, and the crew managed to escape. Today, the wreck is a picturesque underwater attraction, but its beauty can now be appreciated from a new perspective thanks to drone footage. What was once a tool for drug trafficking has become an artificial reef teeming with marine life. The plane rests at a depth of about 3 meters, making it one of the most accessible diving spots. Another sunken drug transport. The cargo ship known as Voisey Bernadette, infamous for its role in drug smuggling, has found a new purpose. It was ceremoniously sunk to create an artificial reef off the coast of Florida, USA. The entire process was documented by drone footage. Built in 1965, the ship had a turbulent history, culminating in its capture by U.S. Customs and Border Protection during a high-profile anti-drug operation in Miami in 2018. The fate of the ship was decided. It was to be relieved of its shameful criminal stigma and contribute to environmental protection. Through a broad initiative, supported by local authorities and conservation organizations, it was sent to the bottom to strengthen the ecosystems of the barrier coral reefs. This move followed Florida's long-standing tradition of deliberately sinking decommissioned military and commercial vessels to create artificial reefs. Already lying on the ocean floor are aircraft carriers, tires, and decommissioned subway cars. All of these objects have become iconic diving spots, enhancing Florida's reputation as a premier destination for wreck diving. Florida boasts a collection of over 3,000 artificial reefs, with the number growing each year. During the U.S. Civil War, naval battles were already taking place, and 2 relics of them now lie peacefully on the seabed near Holden Beach and Folly Inlet in North Carolina. These are the ships Elizabeth and Bendigo. The remains of the latter can be seen on the eastern tip of the island during low tide. The wreck is marked by an orange navigation buoy and lies between Holden Beach and Oak Island. Although the length of the wreck is about 61 meters, only the base of the engine exhaust funnel and a small part of the superstructure are visible above the water. The shipwreck is easily accessible by swimming during low tide, but the sunken ships are covered with abandoned fishing hooks and gear that may pose potential hazards. Both of these shipwrecks are a sunken relic of American history. For enthusiasts with drones for filming, they may reveal unusual episodes of the American state's tumultuous history. Drones are used not only to save people but also to rescue animals. This time, a drone captures the rescue of a dog in Hawaii. At the rocky cliffs overlooking the Pacific Ocean, there is a very strong surf, which is a very popular tourist spot. However, the slippery rocks prove dangerous for a tiny dog named. Jerry, he unwisely jumped down, and the first wave swept him into the ocean. The drone footage then reveals the efforts to save Jerry from the treacherous waters. If he had to fight the wave alone, his chances would have been slim, but the drone spotted his little figure in the water within moments. Without hesitation, Jerry's owner dived into the sea to save his beloved companion. The drone captured every second of the rescue. While the owner swam to reach Jerry, the dog desperately struggled against the strong current. Finally, a collective sigh of relief was heard from the beach as the man managed to grab the dog and bring him back to shore. A rare spectacle unfolded on a Florida beach under the cover of darkness. A giant leatherback sea turtle was laying eggs. Usually this process is inaccessible to human eyes, but with the help of drones, we can now witness it. The heat sensor on the drone camera highlights the outline of the turtle and nearby people in red. These are not onlooking tourists, but marine conservationists. They use drones with thermal imaging systems to document this significant event, the nesting of a leatherback sea turtle. This is extremely important for scientists since this species, the largest and most ancient turtle known to humanity, is on the verge of extinction. Witnessing this phenomenon is rare. To lay eggs, the turtle makes a long journey through the waves, digs a nest in the sand at night, and deposits its precious cargo. The eggs are left to incubate for 55 to 60 days. They now serve as a beacon of hope against the decline of the population due to poaching, habitat destruction, and plastic pollution in the ocean. A similar phenomenon unfolds in Australia every year, about 390 miles northwest of Queensland. Until recently, it remained inaccessible to witnesses. But thanks to drones, we now know that here lies a sanctuary that plays a crucial role in the survival of one of the ocean's most revered inhabitants. The green sea turtle breeds here. The coral-covered island, approximately 31 hectares in size, serves as a vital nesting site for sea turtles, whose populations are declining due to centuries of ruthless hunting, poaching, and habitat loss. The government, in cooperation with conservationists and researchers, used drone technology to study the lives of these magnificent creatures in greater detail. We observe footage capturing a colony of 64,000 green sea turtles. They gather on the islands, either preparing for nesting or laying eggs. This is a significant breakthrough in monitoring the population. The outdated methods of manually counting painted and unpainted turtles have long required an update. In the wildlife park in Darwin, Australia, simple documentary filming turned into a dramatic blockbuster. A drone operator was filming a documentary on the 50th anniversary of the crocodile hunting ban for the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, but he didn't expect that one of the park's residents had other plans for his equipment. Crocodiles, usually quite calm and even timid, were extraordinarily restless that day. Probably the drone's buzzing irritated them. One crocodile stood out from the rest, focusing its gaze on the hovering drone, staring at it unblinkingly. Perhaps, for him, the drone looked like a potential threat or snack. But seeing the motionless crocodile, the operator hovered for a close-up shot. Suddenly, the crocodile leapt out of the water, and its jaws snapped shut with a loud crack. In an instant, the drone disappeared underwater. The crew thought that the drone and the footage were lost forever, but fate had other plans. 2 weeks later, park staff found the battered drone washed up on the lagoon shore. Amazingly, despite its chewed-up appearance, the memory card was intact. The video captured the entire sequence of events from the prelude to the strike, providing a rare and thrilling demonstration of the crocodile's power and agility. The incident quickly became a hot topic at the corporation's office, and the retired drone was placed on the bulletin board as a reminder of the unpredictable collisions of wildlife filming. 54-year-old tourist Richard is an outdoor enthusiast who loves capturing beautiful scenery. He publishes his films on his YouTube channel to raise funds for the Alzheimer's Society. By chance, his drone recorded what appears to be the legendary Loch Ness monster. Richard was documenting his latest adventure in a canoe. He covered about 100 kilometers in 4 days, including intense paddling. But one day, he decided to use his drone for aerial landscape shots. When he reviewed the footage, something unusual came to light. A mysterious giant figure was moving in the water. At first, Richard couldn't believe it. He had to rewatch the footage several times, but the figure increasingly convinced him of its resemblance to classic images of Nessie. Since for all of us, the monster is associated with a huge body and a small head on a thin neck, the outlines captured by Richard may help shed light on the mystery of this legend. What if creatures like Nessie really do exist, and even in numbers? What do you think the drone captured? Write to us in the comments. We thank you for watching and invite you to subscribe to our notifications, click the bell below, and share the video with friends. New links have already appeared on the screen, and we'll say goodbye for a short while until the next episode. Thanks again.